Right. Hi guys, I'm Mr. Khor. I specialize in teaching SPM Biology, and today we'll be looking at SPM Biology, Pahang Paper 2, year 2022. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so for question 1, one look, you know this would be something from Form 5, Chapter 7, guys. Form 5, Chapter 7. And here, they are asking you to classify both. They are asking you to classify both the plants. Okay. So based on the question, you can see that plant A is a mangrove plant, which is why it is a halophyte. Okay, which is why it is a halophyte, while plant B is a xerophyte because it is a cactus. Okay, because it is a cactus. And mangrove plant, of course, guys, they will have to live in a mangrove swamp. So in exam, whether you just write swamp or mangrove swamp, both are perfectly fine. Okay, both are perfectly fine. And guys, common sense the moment it's to do with chapter 7 means they will ask you the adaptations of how halophyte can reduce rate of transpiration. So if you remember the two typical points we always give, the two typical points we always use is that leaves have thick cuticles and also sunken stomata. Guys, sunken stomata means rather than it being on the surface below, they'll be sunken, terbenam. Terbenam means deeper a bit compared to the usual leaves. As for B, guys, the thorns, okay, the cactus the thorns, because it's thorn-like shape, it reduces surface area exposed to the hot sun, and therefore they'll lose less water, guys. They'll lose less water. Okay, they'll lose less water. So honestly, the first 2 points will be quite good. And by the way, guys, if you find that you need time to copy, you're always welcome to pause the video to copy. I mean, you can take your time, guys. You can take your time, but it's not productive for me to wait 5 minutes because I know there are some of you who copied really quick. All right, so if you need to copy, you can just click the pause button. All right. Okay, so next up would be question 2. Question 2, Form 4, chapter, this is enzyme, chapter 5. Okay, because the old syllabus enzyme is in Form 4, chapter 4, old syllabus KBSM. But nowadays we don't talk about, we don't talk about KBSM anymore because the KBSM, the last batch was 2020. So sudah beberapa tahun dah. It's already a few years. So Form 4 question, Form 4 Part 5, guys. Form 4 Part 5. The complex, you have to be a little bit careful because let's say they give you amylase and substrate S here. I wouldn't advise you to write enzyme substrate, but guys, rather I would advise you to write amylase substrate S complex. Okay, amylase substrate S complex. And if you did your reading, you should know amylase is an extracellular enzyme. Okay. Now, substrate S is not able to form complex K with amylase. So why? Simply because we say there are a few ways to put it. Guys, normally this form of question they give you a bit of leeway to use a few words. So I'll be using a few words to let you to show you the few words that they accept. So guys, active site is not compatible, not fit, or not complement, cannot complement substrate S. Reaction cannot occur. And you definitely get 1 mark if you mention action is specific. Okay, because that's the foundation for the whole explanation. Okay. Specific means one type of enzyme is only for one type of reaction, or can only allow one type of substrate to attach to it. Okay, the next question is what I really like, because the next one, this question here is what we call an inhibitor. Okay, an inhibitor. Inhibitor perencat dalam BM. So as the name speaks for itself, it is something that inhibit a reaction. Merencat suatu tindak balas means causing the reaction unable to occur. Now, what happens when there's molecule Z? Guys, you see, if you look at molecule Z, the reason it is able to feed is because they have structure that is able to enter the active site and preventing the substrate from entering. So we say that Z is an inhibitor. Z is an inhibitor. Therefore, after attaching to the active site, P cannot bind to active site of amylase. Reaction stop would be a better word. Reaction cannot occur, no products are formed. Okay, no products are formed. But of course, any two would do lah. Right? Any two would be fine. Okay, question 3, what do we have here? So this is plant N, guys. Plant N meaning Rafflesia. Plant N meaning Rafflesia. So we are dealing with Form 5, Chapter 9. Okay, we are dealing with Form 5, Chapter 9. So name organ in plant N. Name organ in plant N that's involved in taking up water. Definitely the roots. Okay, definitely the roots. And Rafflesia, as we all know, we all learn in, I think, primary school itself. Rafflesia is a parasite because they will grow on the host. Roots will absorb food from the host, and the host becomes malnourished. So this is good to memorize, guys. Please draw 2 stars because sometimes students find it hard to come up with extra points. Let's say 3 marks, I would give these 4 points. Okay, so good to memorize, guys. This is good to memorize. And we still have a part C. Guys, plant T and plant U. Plant T and plant U. So they stated very clearly, plant U is given fertilizer. Okay, plant U is given fertilizer, diberikan baja tidak organik. Describe micronutrient K. Describe micronutrient K. Okay, the good thing is, you don't need to state what nutrient it is here. Guys, you don't need to state what nutrient it is here. And by the way, this is Form 5 Bab 3. This is Form 5 Bab 3. Nutrition in plants. So for you to explain, all you have to do is take note of the picture, take note of the diagram. So the function of K, you can see, very obvious would be the fruits lah, guys, the fruits. Okay. Oh, but they want 3 marks. They want 3 marks. Okay, so if they want 3 marks, you have to elaborate a little bit more. You can mention, besides fruit production, you can say, because I always tell students, when it comes to this topic, when you use points like growth, okay, prevent chlorosis, you will normally get marks. So if I were you, I'll go with these 3 points. 1, food production, penghasilan buah. Number 2, growth. Number 3, prevent chlorosis. Okay, so guys, these 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, these 3. These 3 is enough, lah, guys. They won't ask you for 5 function. In fact, 3 is excessive. If you ask me, 3 is excessive. Yesterday, they asked 1 or 2. Normally, they ask 1 or 2. Okay. So the next question, oh, this one. Okay, last time, guys, last time they used to ask according to the sequence of topics, meaning Form 4, Chapter 2, 3, 4, moving on. But now in KSSM, they jump here and there. As you can see, we started with just now Form 5 topic. Okay, question 4. Form 4, Chapter 3. Form 4, Chapter 3. So based on diagram 4, name the type of movement. Guys, name the type of movement. Okay, L, the moment you see ATP, you know it's active transport. Guys, this is facilitated diffusion. This is facilitated diffusion. So this one here, the better answer is facilitated diffusion. Resapan berbantu. Okay, yeah, diffusion. Okay, something that can pass through M, you can write glucose or amino acid following your textbook's example. Okay, normally when it comes to these two, they will ask to compare. Guys, they will ask to compare. So you can see here. Next up for B, we have to differentiate L and M. So active transport is always a process whereby it has to move against the concentration gradient. And then energy is required. Okay, this one is not such a good point, but the last one is still okay. For active transport, they always require a carrier protein, but M can be carrier, can be channel, can be either one. Okay, can be either one. And finally, at the end, one last question. This is a little bit K-bar. Guys, this is a little bit K-bar based. So after playing futsal, so guys, they predetermine that you're going to play futsal, then you feel thirsty, and you realize you lost a lot of water. Suggest what should you do? Of course, you have to drink isotonic drink. Take isotonic drink because they have the same amount of electrolyte. Okay? They also accept sugar. They also accept sugar. But I think electrolyte is more accurate. Electrolyte is more accurate. Okay. Okay. Question 5, guys. Question 5. Guess what topic this is from? Form 4 but 14. Locomotion and support. Locomotion and support. First question, they ask you what type of skeleton. Human, we have endoskeleton, and this bone here in your upper arm is known as humerus. Okay, upper arm, the bone is humerus. Okay, guys, explain how both muscles A and B work together. So A and B, they are antagonistic. They are antagonistic, and a pulling force will be transmitted to the ulna. Ulna pulled down, and the forearm is straightened. Okay, the forearm is straightened. Okay. Draw one star because this is a very popular question, guys. This is a very popular question. Okay, this joint here, guys. This joint here. So this is what we call a ball and socket joint. This is what we call a ball and socket joint. But they are not asking you about ball and socket joint. Guys, what happens? What's the effect if the joint is damaged? So ball and socket, we say can move in all direction. So we say all direction movement cannot occur. And because of that, guys, you have to imagine if let's say the joint is damaged, you can't really lift your leg up. You can't lift your leg up. And therefore, not walking properly is definitely a point. Not walking properly, not being able to walk properly is definitely a point. The wind is quite strong. Okay. It's quite windy today, that's why I'm sitting out. Okay, moving on. This is a very popular trial question that comes up nearly every year for the past don't know how many years. So for now, they are asking about osteoporosis, because we all know osteoporosis is where bones become porous and brittle, berlubang dan senang pecah. Okay, so what should she do? So you cannot just say exercise, you must mention exercise regularly, because guys, exercising just once a year won't make any difference at all. Okay, and in terms of diet, have to consume diet high in calcium. Okay, consume diet high in calcium. Regularly exercise. These two would be the best. The first and the fourth point. The first and the fourth point would be the best. Yeah, first and fourth point. Okay, so question 6 is from Form 5, Chapter 5, Tropism and Response. So there are two types of response that you're able to see from this particular picture here, which is, guys, phototropism and geotropism. Phototropism and geotropism. Hormone involved is always auxin. Okay, auxin is involved. And based on diagram 6.1, how should teeth respond when exposed to light? Now, if you are familiar, guys, because 6.1, okay, so if you are familiar, right, auxins, when exposed to light, because they dislike sunlight, they'll always move to what we call the shaded region. This place is called the shaded region. And when they move down to elongation zone, they will stimulate elongation. And that's how it bends to a particular, guys, that's how it bends to a particular direction. That's why the shoot tip always bend towards sunlight, okay? So if it is evenly distributed, then it will be evenly distributed when light is from all direction evenly. But if light is from one direction, as what I just told you, they'll move away from sunlight. Shaded area or shaded region will have more, and there's more elongation at that part. So let's say here elongate more, here elongate less. That's why bend towards the sunlight. Okay, but guys, normally 2 marks, you don't have to over elaborate. I would say that maybe this few would be sufficient. Even this few a bit too many. Yeah. So questions like this, you must get full marks. If not, then it's quite hard to score this paper. Okay, next, you see fruits wrapped in a plastic bag, you know it's something to do with this hormone called ethylene. Okay. Yeah, Q will ripen first, guys. So if you have any fruit that you want it to ripen quicker, just have to wrap it in a paper bag, plastic bag. Some you see they use newspaper to wrap the fruit. Okay. The reason is this, guys. You can draw 2 stars for this question. Mature tomatoes release ethylene gas. They'll be trapped in the container, causing the ripening. And because there's a higher concentration of ethylene, it will ripen quicker. It will ripen much quicker. Okay. Okay, guys, now. So moving on to question number 7. Okay, so 7 here is from Form 4, Chapter 13, urine formation. Okay, Form 4, Chapter 13, guys, urine formation. Structure S and T. So S is the glomerulus, T is PCT, proximal convoluted tubule. Okay, and what happens at T is always reabsorption. Or if you write reabsorption process, it's okay. Okay, so next. Explain how filtrate from S. Explain how filtrate from structure S is transported inside capillaries from T. So here you have to talk about, guys, you have to talk about the reabsorption. Reabsorption, if you remember, let's say for instance, let's say I call this the PCT. Guys, if you remember, sodium ion will be reabsorbed, chloride ion reabsorbed, glucose, amino acid, all are reabsorbed. But the first 3 is always by active transport. Last thing, water. Water has to be osmosis. This one is passive transport. Okay. So guys, look, sodium ion actively pump. Actively pump means active transport. Chloride, okay, glucose, amino acid, and then water. Okay, glucose, amino acid, and then water. So nothing tough. It's just a copy paste kind of question from what you have learned in BAP 13. Okay, next, guys. Next is a K-BUT. Next is a K-BUT. A patient is diagnosed with kidney stone problem. So explain why, guys. Explain why he or she have that problem, and what's the effect, guys. And what's the effect? One of the reasons linked to kidney stone is because the person didn't drink enough water. So that's why it causes formation of excess it causes formation of excess, we call it calcium phosphates, calcium phosphate. And that is what makes the stone. Okay, kidney stone is something easy for everyone to understand. Oh, kidney got stone. Okay, but in reality, these are calcium structures and can block ureter. Guys, you see, this is, let's say, your kidney. So this is ureter joining to the bladder, and bladder coming out would be urethra. So if there are kidney stones here, it will block. Guys, it will block. Okay, so drinking less water. So drinking less water is one of the causes, and it causes dehydration. Guys, there'll be excess calcium or mineral salt. This is the one I was talking about, calcium phosphate. It can block ureter and reduce urine production. Okay. Guys, draw 2 stars for this question. Draw 2 stars for this question. Now, moving on to the last structure for this session, guys, Form 4 Chapter 6. Form 4 Chapter 6, cell division. If I'm not mistaken, this is from this picture that you're looking at here is from the year 2005, SPM Dual Ribu Lima. Okay, so type of cell division, guys. Obviously, P is mitosis, Q meiosis. Okay, P mitosis, Q meiosis. Now, cell division Q is important for sexual reproduction. Okay, why is Q important? This is something that many students don't quite get. Guys, you see, let's say we have 46 chromosomes. Because each time undergo something called meiosis, ovum will have 23 chromosomes. Sperms will be 23 as well. Sperms will be 23 as well. So when these two fertilize, then we get back a diploid zygote. Guys, we get back a diploid zygote. Okay. So we say that I think this is not such a good one. Okay. So meiosis produces gametes that have half the number of chromosomes compared to the parent cell. So during fertilization, guys, during fertilization, haploid gametes will fuse to form a diploid zygote, guys, to form a diploid zygote. Okay. So this draw one star. Please draw one star for B, guys. Draw one star for B. Don't forget to label after they split. Guys, don't forget to label. Okay, part D, they are showing you what we call a karyotype. Karyotype means a complete set of all the chromosomes. Okay, complete set of all the chromosomes. One look, you can see extra one chromosome at pair 21. So this tells you that the person got Down syndrome. Okay, so spindle fiber fail to separate. Sorry, fail to function. Chromosome fail to separate. Therefore, they have either extra one or less chromosome. I give you an example, guys. Let's say this ovum is 23. And then, because during meiosis, by right, this pair, chromosome 21, is supposed to separate. Then to form sperm. But the issue is they don't separate. So what happens? Sini lebih satu, sini kurang satu. When these two fertilize, there will be 47 chromosomes. Okay, and the extra chromosome would be at 21. Okay, so actually we shouldn't write this. Have an extra chromosome at chromosome 21. Have an extra chromosome at chromosome 21. Okay, this is much better. Okay, guys, this is much better. All right, guys, you can check out the next video for the essay question discussion. But generally, I would say the questions here that you have just seen would be a 6 out of 10. It's not hard, it's not too easy, slightly above average. Okay. This is what you can expect from a typical trial paper set. All right. Okay, guys, I'll see you in the next lesson. All right, cheers. All right, let's proceed with part 2, which is essay. So for question 9, so guys, similar to the previous sets, I'll discuss with you, then I'll tell you which one would be my pick when it comes to question 9 and 10. Okay, so question 9 here is related to Form 4, Chapter 10, which is quite attractive, guys, which is quite attractive. All right, so here, this is quite similar to SPM 2021. SPM 2021, little bit similar lah. So you have to name structure T, and one look here, you know T is the sinoatrial node. What it does is that it generates electrical impulses. And guys, if you remember pumping of heart mechanism, SA node send impulse to atrial walls, causing atrial systole. Atrial systole meaning contraction of atria. And from here, when atria contract, the blood will enter ventricles. When ventricle contract, then blood move out of the heart. All right, but here they only want 4 points. So you can see SA node generate electrical impulses spread to walls of both atria. Guys, atrial systole means the atria contract. So I'll just draw an arrow here. Atria contract, blood enter, like I said, blood enter ventricles. And when ventricles contract, the blood will be pumped out to the entire body. Blood will be pumped out to the entire body. Okay? Nothing hebat, nothing tough, nothing too advanced, quite straightforward if you ask me. Okay? And honestly, this is a very good pick when it comes to choosing the essay lah. I mean, before this, actually I was browsing through already. I think this is a very good. Actually, 9 is a better question to pick lah, but I'll discuss about it at the end. Okay, a reason why that question 9 is a good pick is because of this. It's from one of the past year question, but the good news is that they give you several things to talk about as far as 10 marks is concerned, rather than give you one thing to talk about for 10 marks. Meaning worst come to worst case scenario, if you can't answer one, out of 10 marks, maybe if you still can get the other 2 factors okay, you can do it right, you can still get maybe 6-7 marks. So guys, smoking increases the risk. Smoking increases the risk of cardiovascular diseases. And okay. And cigarette smoke contain nicotine. Cigarette smoke contain nicotine. So there are many points, guys. You can talk about nicotine. Because nicotine can narrow the arteries, causing less oxygen flow to heart muscles. Narrow arteries, so less blood can enter heart muscles. This is CO lah, carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide fights with hemoglobin to form oxyhemoglobin. I mean, it fights with the oxygen which is supposed to form oxyhemoglobin. So guys, you can see smoking itself, there are so many pointers. There are so many pointers for smoking itself. Okay, unbalanced diet, they put unbalanced, unbalanced diet. Unbalanced diet here means taking too much fat is bad. Fat and carbo, too much fat and carbo is bad. Okay. Leads to obesity. And have you heard of atherosclerosis? It means narrowing of the lumen also, which can lead to heart attack and stroke. And guys, unhealthy lifestyle normally it means lack of exercise. Lack of exercise. Okay, lack of exercise. So 10 marks, I think getting 7 or 8 marks shouldn't be a problem if you got do your studying, guys. If you got do your studying. Because at the end of the day, for essays, right, we are not expecting you to get 20 out of 20, but I think a 16 would be quite good. Minimum 16, minimum 16. Okay. All right, guys, and the last part of question 9 is just a straight comparison, a direct comparison between tissue fluid and lymph. Okay, tissue fluid and lymph. All right, so both contain plasma without plasma protein. If you remember, they both do not have red blood cell and platelets because the size is too big. Yeah. Okay, differences, you can check it out, guys. Differences, you can check it out. Lymph got more lymphocyte because in the lymph nodes, because the lymph nodes produce lymphocytes. The lymph nodes produce, produce lymphocytes. Okay. Okay, so looking at question 10. Question 10 is from Form 5, Chapter 11, variation. So first up, they're asking you definition and give one example. So one example would be, you can say skin color, or you can say blood group of humans, human blood group. Okay, so 1 mark, 1 mark. Importance of variation, so that we are able, as teachers, we are able to differentiate you. Oh, Aming, Mutu, and Ali. You know the typical example. Okay, what Xiaoming, Xiaoming, Mutu, and Ali. Because variation means differences in characteristics. Everyone looks so very different. So we are able to differentiate you guys. Okay. And variation is good because there are many answers, guys. There are many answers here. They gave something to do with good trait, like papaya that ripens quicker. Example, so this ensures that the species adapt better, so that they can adapt better. Now, why question 9 is very much preferred compared to 10 is because the next one is still fine, guys. The next one is a comparison. They ask you to compare continuous and discontinuous. Okay, it's basically a copy and paste kind of scenario. All right, guys, you can check it out. This one you can check it out. Draw 1 star. It's not something hard, just something you may not need to know before any exam that you go to. Starting from Percubaan and SPM, definitely you have to know these two very clearly. Okay, why question 9 is very much more preferred as compared to question 10 is because of this part. Environmental factors, as I always tell in class, is very subjective one, meaning there's no fixed answer. For students who are more creative, this is definitely not an issue. But when it comes to essay, I think it can jeopardize your marks more or less because maybe you're not used to writing all this. So guys, you can check it out, have a look. Tree produces blue flowers in acidic soil. Okay, pink color in alkaline solution. Sunlight, if you work in office, your skin is fairer. Okay, so stuff like that. Okay, so guys, you can just pause and copy. I'll move on to the next one. Okay, for C, next, part C, where's the problem? Guys, so kurang 1x, 44 plus x. 44 plus x means Turner syndrome. Lack 1x. Why? Non-disjunction occurred. Okay. Then talk about the characteristics. 4 marks is important. Okay. This is a type of chromosomal mutation. Non-disjunction occur during formation of sperm or ovum. Zygote abnormal characteristic is called Turner syndrome. I think these points are sufficient. The ones which I tick, guys, the ones which I tick. The rest, this one, the one. Okay. Okay, now diagram 11.1 shows a human activity. Diagram 11.1 shows a human activity. Question 11, the compulsory essay. Deforestation, they ask you how does it cause global warming? Guys, deforestation itself is 1 mark because they never state it in the question. Okay, CO2 increase. And this is a greenhouse gas. Guys, you can state that carbon dioxide is actually a greenhouse gas. This is a greenhouse gas. Trapping heat, atmospheric temperature increase. Okay. Hey guys, draw 2 stars, quite popular. Those days, 2005, 2007, I think 2009, every 2-3 years they'll ask once greenhouse gas. Back then, old syllabus. Now I think lesser, now definitely lesser. Okay, next, a farmer is spreading fertilizer. How does this affect the paddy field? So the keyword is fertilizer. Guys, you highlight fertilizer, you draw 1 star because fertilizer causes eutrophication. Okay. Excess, we always say nitrate or phosphate enter a water source, causing algae bloom. This is 1 mark on its own. Okay. When there's algae bloom, sunlight cannot reach the aquatic plants. Sunlight cannot reach aquatic plants. Photosynthesis will become low, may die. Okay, guys. All these are points that we copy paste from the textbook or reference book. Right? So considerably, question 11 is quite a straightforward compulsory essay question. Quite straightforward. Okay, quite straightforward. Now, this is what we call a vertical garden. Okay, a vertical garden, they grow upwards. So construction of vertical gardens are highly encouraged. The advantage, as you can see for yourself, it doesn't use up too much space. It doesn't use up too much space. Okay, and means something that is empty now got this one, so it means it releases more oxygen, reduces temperature, reduces carbon dioxide. Here you got 3 points already. Faham tak guys? Means memang last time don't have, compared to now have. What's the effect? The effect is more oxygen is produced, more CO2 used up. So that's less CO2 in that area, lower the temperature, then can probably be a place for animals to live in, birds, for example. Yeah, you can check out, there are so many answers. 5 would do what? The one I spoke about is reducing temperature, carbon dioxide, and also oxygen, and this one. Okay, then the other one you can select yourself. Guys, the other one you can select yourself. Okay. Last one. So diagram 11.4 shows application of green technology that uses kitchen waste and food waste. How this green tech can be done at home. So obviously waste becoming fertilizer, you have to talk about eco enzymes. Guys, we have to talk about eco enzymes. Meaning, let's say the orange skin, the apple peels, you can soak them to form what we call eco-enzymes. Okay, eco-enzymes. Then you can use to clean the floor and so on. Now, this type of question, I would strongly recommend that you straight away hafal the answers, because for this particular topic, Form 5, Chapter 10, sometimes anything can come out, which means high chance it's not from the textbook or reference book. I always tell my students that it's good to memorize answers outside of the textbook for this particular topic, because high chance they will throw it in 11, question 11. Okay. All right, guys. So with that, I end my session here today. I'm Mr. Khor. I hope to see you again in another set. Okay, yeah, guys. Take care. Good luck. Have a good year ahead. Yeah. Cheers.